you can now buy all sorts of pre-loved items. For your double everything era, your up all night era, and your can't miss a thing era. From fashion to kids, books and more, find amazing deals and feel new again. Want it? Buy it on Vinted.
Aura Ring 4, now in colourful ceramic.
Bet365 are putting the power in your hands for the UEFA Champions League with their best ever bet builder.
At Bet365, if any of your players get subbed off, your bet rolls on with sub on, play on. But that's not all. Our incredible early payout offer comes as standard.
Why would you build your UEFA Champions League bet anywhere else? Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
The expectations will always be big in a club like Tottenham.
Went in like an absolute rocket!
All the games, it's like a final for us. We're not going to make it easy.
It's game time.
It's Leeds
versus Tottenham.
live
On TNT Sports.
This programme is brought to you by Just Eat. UEFA Champions League, official partner.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just getting ready for our 8 p.m. kickoffs across the continent in the Champions League. Manchester City are in Monaco on match day 2. Pep Guardiola has made 3 changes to the side that beat Burnley 5-1 at the weekend. John Stones, Rodri and Bernardo Silva are all in the team. I've got Jolien and Shay Given alongside me. Jolien, when you look at the way City are setting up, it looks as though John Stones might be playing in the right-back role.
Yeah, he's done that before, and they're not traditional right-backs or full-backs for Pep's teams, are they? They tend to venture into midfield, which we know John Stones can do. But looking at Monaco's setup, they play a narrow front three, so yeah, it would suggest that he tucks in and they're arguably a back three, and Nico pushes a little bit forward, so anything could happen. I don't think we're going to be able to recognise at any one time. I think there's going to be fluidity throughout the system and personnel in different positions.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, the Monaco team, there are a lot of familiar faces actually in this Monaco team. You've got Eric Dyer, Kera, Balogun, Salisu, Ansu Fati as well, a couple of familiar faces on the bench as well, so they'll know each other very well. For Manchester City, though, it's been a really interesting time because last season was so disappointing, the way they crashed out of the Champions League, the way their league form went, and the, trophyless season, which not many people would have expected. But this season already, I mean, if you look at their September, if it wasn't for that last gasp Martinelli goal against Arsenal, it would have been 5 wins in 5, Shay. How close are they to being the team that they were in terms of rediscovering their magic and their aura?
I don't think they're a million miles away. I really don't. The other thing that plays into their hands is everyone's talking about Arsenal and Liverpool winning the league and Champions League, and everyone seems to forget about this Manchester City team. And I've not forgotten about them. We got Pep Guardiola in charge, one of the best managers of all time, and players are starting to find their feet. Haaland, 9 goals already. Foden seems to be back to his best from last season. He had dropped off for whatever reason. I do like Reinders a lot, and obviously the big miss from last season was Rodri, of course. He's back now, and Julian, you'll know better than anyone. The more games he plays after that knee injury, then the stronger they're looking, especially him.
It definitely takes a while after you've been out injured, but the rhythm, community in the team, like Shay said, I think they're closer than what people think. I think it's probably a run of 5 or 6 games to what they've had previous. I think then they're back. I think they're one of the teams like Liverpool that are capable of going on a 10, 12 win winning streak, which is now, we know, the new norm to consider yourself title contenders.
And Pep has talked about sort of managing Rodri's return. He's not going to play too many games on the bounce, but there are players who are still sort of, injured, but they look as though they're going to come back very, very soon. And once that happens, it puts them on a completely different level, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It gives them more options, Pep more options off the bench to change teams in different competitions, because Pep, like us, expect them to be competing in every competition to the latter stages, so they're going to need more personnel fit throughout the course of the season, and it gives them a chance to to rest. You never get dropped at Man City, you always rotated, so I'm sure he recognises what's needed in each individual game.
Well, look, we can see that giant figure looming in the background, almost in the shadows, but not quite. He could never be in the shadows. Look, it's Erling Haaland. Shay, you mentioned 9 goals for City so far this season. Add on another 6 for Norway as well. And consider the fact that he made history in the last Champions League game against Napoli, where he became the fastest player to reach 50 goals in the Champions League. He did it in 49 games. I mean, his form is incredible, and he keeps reinventing himself, doesn't he, and keeping himself at that high level.
But that's the thing, Resha. Is it form? Form is when you're not capable of sustaining that, and he's only ever done this. He's only ever scored goals at this consistency throughout his career. So when do we say it's not form? And it's just the way he performs every week.
Yeah, he's a superstar, isn't he? And he signed that big contract last year as well. He's committed to the football club. You know, he's the figure, and it feels as well, Rashman, that he's actually enjoyed that leadership quality as well. You know, De Bruyne has left, Gundogan's left. He's that. Well, I'm one of the leaders in this dressing room now, and he's leading from the front. Obviously, the goals speak for themselves. He's fantastic. What I would just touch on as well is Donnarumma. Obviously, has come into this team this year, and I think that's. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper when it comes to keeping the ball in the net. But it changes maybe the philosophy and the way Pep wants to play. And at times this year with Donnarumma in the goal, they haven't been as fluent as keeping the ball possession-wise. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out over the course of the season.
And that was the interesting point, wasn't it? Because a lot of people were wondering if he was a Pep Guardiola player. But again, Pep Guardiola is starting to... I wasn't sure that we'd see it, but he is starting to adjust.
But that's the thing. I think Pep's always evolved his teams and his philosophies. I think we've recognised that. Was Haaland his striker at the start? Probably not, but then he's recognised, well, I need my keeper to make saves in big moments, and Donnarumma definitely can do that.
And that's exactly what's happening, isn't it? Well, look, this is just one of a few matches taking place across those 8 p.m. kickoffs. Don't forget, you can experience all of the magic of the Champions League on TNT Sports on the Discovery Plus app. You can keep up to date with all the key moments. You can go back and watch incidents and replays. You can flick between matches with the in-player discovery option. And of course, goal alerts, because you want to know what's happening in every single game, so you won't miss a minute. All of that is available on Discovery Plus. OK, the scene is set then. Everyone is ready out in Monaco to head out to the pitch and listen to that glorious Champions League music. So are we. And I'm going to hand you over to our commentary team then. Glenn Hoddle, who knows these parts very, very well indeed, who's alongside Mike Miney. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Reshman. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Glenn, was it Ferrari for you today? Was it a yacht? How did you arrive?
I think it was a clapped-out BMW, actually.
It is a welcome to the home with the rich and famous, the fast cars, the yachts. But for once, we're not on about the footballers. It is the luxurious Principality state, where only the enjoyment for both of these sides will come in the form of 3 points this evening. For the second successive season, the Champions League rolls into town in Monaco, with memories of 8 years ago when these two met in a thrilling last 16 tie. Back in 2017, Bernardo Silva walked out as a 22-year-old in a young Monaco side that featured Kylian Mbappe and went on to reach the semi-finals. Now he walks out as the captain of Manchester City, having won the tournament himself just a couple of years ago. City know they faltered in the Champions League last season. It was an away record of just 1 win in 5, which saw them out before the last 16. But if they can match that opening day win over Napoli with a win over Monaco, then there might be less of a concern than reaching the top 24 than there was last year. It's a busy night in Monaco. Many have been taking their seats early tonight for Manchester City coming to town. A Monaco side that are hit by injuries. As many as 8 first-team players aren't able to play, whether through injury or lack of fitness. And it's Manchester City's midfield that seems to be bolstered by the return of Rodri this evening. A lot of those concerns then for Monaco are in midfield. No Camara, Zakaria or Golovin, but they are boosted by the fitness of Akliouche, who missed last weekend through illness, only returned to training on Monday. Salisu and Fati both have experience of playing against Manchester City in their times at Southampton and Brighton.
Yeah, it's a shame for Monaco. They've missed so many players in that midfield area. That's why I think they're going to go in with a back five, and it's going to be, can they soak up the pressure? They're not going to have much of the ball, but can they hit City on the counter?
They often pride themselves, Monaco, on being able to bring through players, find that next generation of young talent. Can anyone in the red and white step up this evening and make a name for themselves? No need for that man to make a name for himself. Gianluigi Donnarumma, winner of the Champions League back in May with Paris Saint-Germain. The referee this evening is the Spaniard Jesus Gil Manzano. He was at Villa Park last week for Aston Villa's win over Bologna, averaging 4 yellow cards a game, and in 3 of his 6 matches he's produced a red as well this season. Well, after Kevin De Bruyne's departure in the summer, John Stones is the only surviving player of the Manchester City side that came here in 2017. Bernardo Silva that night was on the opposite side, but tonight he captains Manchester City. Perhaps a surprise start for Rodri, with his minutes being carefully managed, but Pep Guardiola starts him after giving him a 2-game rest.
Yeah, strong side City have put out, and Rodri playing, everything goes through him, doesn't it? It's interesting to see if Monaco do anything about that. They might sit somebody on him to stop the flow of possession, but yeah, I got to fancy City. I think they'll be too strong today.
Well, there was a bit of brief concern earlier whilst we were having lunch, Glenn, that Manchester City had brought some of the Mancunian weather with them, but thankfully it was only a brief shower, quite mild on the Riviera this evening. Yeah,
it's turned out quite nice, isn't it? Usual, but at lunchtime, yeah, it was tipping down, and at the end of the day we thought, yeah, all the Mancs are arriving. They've brought the weather with them, but no, thankfully it's nice and calm. It's a lovely evening to play football. It really is. Pitch has been watered, and it's going to make it really a quick surface.
So Monaco in the red and white, Manchester City in their changed away strip of the black away shirt this evening. Reflecting on 8 years ago when they came here, Pep Guardiola said his side weren't mature enough for the Champions League back then. Happy to be in the competition rather than focusing on winning it. That has now most certainly changed. There's an element still of European inexperience in this Manchester City side, but largely there's plenty around those that maybe lack the experience to carry the rest of the team. It's the away form that let Manchester City down last year. They can get off to a flying start and make 2 wins from 2 at the start of the Champions League this campaign, if they can find 3 points tonight.
They're certainly going to have plenty of possession, no doubt about it. AS Monaco have got to drop in, as you see now, straight away they're on the halfway line. The back 5 together as we thought, not too deep. They're in a nice position there where it's difficult to get the ball over the top, and they'll try and get a press on them.
Nico O'Reilly, 20-year-old, started the last 6 games for Manchester City. Rodri, the useful addition to the midfield. Now Doku, who wins his first free kick of the evening. So influential as he was against Napoli, he was a sure start tonight for City.
Yeah, quick feet from Doku there. Vanderson just steps across him. Good position now early in the game. Great position for a free kick. You send the centre-backs up and put a bit of pressure on the home team.
So Phil Foden, who was player of the match against Napoli, looks over this free kick for Manchester City. Vardiol and Haaland, as you would expect, to be in the thick of the action, along with Ruben Diaz. Needed the head of Vanderson to give Manchester City a throw-in.
Yeah, it was a fabulous ball in from Bowden. Whipped in with pace, good height, but no City player on the end of it.
John Stones back in the Manchester City side, right back tonight for him. Another one of this Manchester City side, along with Rodri, that if he's fit, you have to find a damn good excuse to keep John Stones out of the team. A bit of pressure will come from Akliouche, just hurries Joško Vardiol.
Yeah, sloppy that is, isn't it? A little bit of misunderstanding there between the back four.
Salisu wants of Southampton, Eric Dyer wants of Tottenham. Both of those in their Premier League days recorded wins over Manchester City. Stones his head down. Great noise from the ultras behind the goal, away to our left-hand side this evening. That's going to test the pace of Doku. He's quick, but not that quick.
Yeah, he's happy though. He's happy. They've turned him round. I mean, sometimes you hit the diagonal and it comes off. It's a great ball, but even if you miss out, it runs out there. You can lock them in from that position. They've got to throw in. They've got to get out of that problem.
Was in the thick of the action there. Salisu. Now Koulibaly. Allows Diatta to have a little venture down the left. And Akliouche, if anything's going to happen for Monaco tonight, it'll come through him. Vanderson, first time delivery in. Stones helps it on. City have dealt with that.
Yeah, Diatta on this side, he's going to break when he can. He's going to have to defend on Bernardo Silva, but when he does get a chance, there's a bit of space in front of him. He's got some pace to use and covers that ground quickly.
Monaco unbeaten in their last 5 against English sides on home soil. Included a 1-0 win over Aston Villa in the league phase last season. More than they've lost against English sides, Monaco. O'Reilly finding that pocket of space, played it behind Haaland though. I know you're excited to see Nico O'Reilly tonight.
Yes, I think he's an excellent young player. He's just going to get better and better. What is he, 20 years of age? I expect him at some stage to be called into the senior side. England, I think he's that good. He can defend as well, 1v1s, and he's used to the ball. Playing in City's system as well. It's only going to bring him on as a player.
Yeah, versatile, certainly. Left back tonight in the academy. He's played a 6, an 8 and a 10. That's a decent ball into Reinders. Brought it down well. To set it into the path of Bernardo Silva.
This is the problem Monaco have got. You know, they've won the ball and they've covered it. At the end of the day, Reiner's made a great run, but one long ball and the ball just comes straight back at them. They've got to give Balogun a little bit of a chance to hold it up, and then they can get their midfield out and support him. But at the moment, it's just coming straight back at them.
Got past Nico O'Reilly, Akliouche and Vanderson trying now to work the footwork past Joško Vardiol, which he does. Vanderson sends it in, O'Reilly was recovering, and Monaco have the first corner of the evening.
Yeah, that's the template for Monaco, isn't it? Soak up the pressure and break. Once they win the ball, they've got runners going forward, and if they play a forward pass from that position, they're going to cause City some problems on the break. In the end, And Riley just gets back and gets the block in, but that is the template. They've got to watch that, Sid. They've got to stay concentrated.
So the Dutch defender of Teze on duty here for Monaco. Everybody back in that penalty area for Manchester City. Teze delivers it in. Diaz heads it away. Can Monaco now keep Manchester City there? No, they can't.
I think I might be right, but we're over 7 minutes into the game. I'm not sure Haaland's had a touch of the ball yet. I mean, there's times when he's most dangerous when he's not touching the ball. He's one of those players that doesn't have to be involved all the time. He just waits and waits for that moment to pounce.
Monaco's perfect evening will be to keep Erling Haaland quiet. 50 Champions League goals in 49 Champions League games. 15 goals this season for club and country in just 9 previous matches. Reinders. Rodri, who was talking in the week about his knee injury and whether he'll ever feel the same, tries not to think about it, but such a large part of last season out. His minutes being managed carefully by Manchester City. Missed the win over Burnley at the weekend. Bernardo Silva against his former club. Trying to find Phil Foden.
I think they're the runs that Foden and Reinders have got to make it eventually, as Haaland's up against 3 centre-backs.
O'Reilly making his own run. Foden, oh, it nearly clicked.
Yeah, he was so unlucky there. It was a lovely bit of skill. If the ball comes out right for him, he's in from a shot on goal.
And the form that he started the season in, Phil Foden for Manchester City, set up Haaland brilliantly against Napoli on match day 1. That last season perhaps didn't go to plan for him, but if he can find the form he had a couple of seasons ago, that treble-winning year, maybe Manchester City and Phil Foden will be back to their best.
Well, I think it's a World Cup year as well at the end of the season. I think he's got a hell of a... I mean, he's going to want to just play well for City, of course, but I think there's that little bit of edge, isn't there? And there's a World Cup at the end of the season that certainly Phil Foden's a top player.
Plenty of players will have their eye on going to America, Canada and Mexico, including that man, Jeremy Doku. As will Akliouche, who has just limited Doku there. Akliouche made his international debut for France last month in the 2-0 win over Ukraine. Will be part of Didier Deschamps' plans.
There's a little bit of a mismatch here. Yes, Bernardo Silva just catches Teve there. Just got away with that one, really, in many ways.
Tackled by O'Reilly. Foden, space for Reinders. Well, it's Manchester City's first shot of the evening, but it's not a good one.
Nah, a bit of
little ring with Arsenal fans. Only made 10 senior appearances for Arsenal, Balogun. One of those was against Manchester City, as the Blues ran out winners in the quarter-final of the League Cup of 2020. City looking to get moving quickly here. Rodri was on the turn, giving it to Foden. Now it's Jeremy Doku. He's past one. Reinders points where he wants it. Beyond him, but here's Bernardo. Bernardo was looking for Haaland, who'd gone to the back post. Dyer was the man to clear it.
It was just an example there where Monaco, for a split second, they came out and attacked, and there was a little bit of a space all over the pitch there, and obviously City getting too easy. That's why they're banked in like they are now. You know, there's occasions where I think City might be better off just letting them come out, let them come and attack you, and then hit them on the counter.
O'Reilly in the way again for Manchester City. To Salisu, gets it back to Philip Kern. Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, is talking about winning all their home games and picking up a couple of wins away. That's how he sees Manchester City getting into the top 8 of the Champions League. Andre just had to be a little wise there to Koulibaly's press.
Yeah, it's Koulibaly who's putting in some pressure on Rodri. There he goes again, tries to get his head down, stop him playing.
Not favoured by some Monaco fans, I was learning pre-game. Koulibaly, but he's getting his second start of the season tonight, having started the weekend over Lorient. Arsenal are 1-0 up at home to Olympiacos. Gabriel Martinelli's got the goal as Haaland now looks to put Manchester City in front. Wow. And just like he did against Napoli, it's lifted over the top for Haaland and he carries it on into the back of the net. The Champions League and Erling Haaland just go hand in hand, and Manchester City, after quarter of an hour, lead by a goal to nil.
This is amazing. I'm not sure. I think that's his first touch in this game, and it's in the back of the net. As we said, he doesn't mind if he's not in the build-up, and he just makes the run, the perfect ball play from Guardiola, and just that faint little touch. I'm not sure if he has had a touch during this game. The stats will tell us, but at the end of the day, what an impact. I've watched him stand up against the 3 centre-backs now for, what, 11, 12 minutes nearly, and then suddenly he's just made one run, he was found, and my word, what a finisher. Incredible. Look, he's saying it all, look, I only need one touch.
He averages a goal every 48 minutes, he's needed just 15 tonight.
I just read his lips, he said it was my first touch. I'm pretty sure he said that. Incredible.
He knows what's angled at him sometimes, that he's involved in the build-up as much as others would like, but you don't need him to when Manchester City play as slickly as they do. The flag will stay down here on Akliouche as Monaco go for an instant reply.
Good covering from O'Reilly as well. He was alert. Looked a little bit sleepy, didn't they, there? They've just scored a goal, and that's when you're most vulnerable, but the young man covered around very quickly from that left-back position.
Well, that's a face known in Manchester, just not for the blue side. Paul Pogba, who signed with the club in the summer, still working his way back to match fitness after a long time out of the game following that doping ban. Teze tests Donnarumma.
That's where Donnarumma's been very, very impressive with the corners. You know, there's a lot been spoken about set plays, you know, lots of goals now, but Donnarumma, in all the games that I've seen, he's calm, he's just punched, he's not trying to catch, he's getting above players and just making sure he clears that ball.
4 clean sheets for Manchester City goalkeepers this season, but he was caught in no man's land there. I'll say 2 each for Trafford and Donnarumma.
It was a lovely ball, wasn't it? A tempting ball from Akliouche there.
Donnarumma didn't know whether to stick or twist. Turns good. Monaco look forward. Ansu Fati, the former Brighton man. Diatta. Lays it off. Here's Teze! How about that? The response is instant from Monaco. And if you thought Haaland's goal was good, Teze's produced one of his own.
Yeah, different goal, isn't it, to Haaland, but my word, they created some space on the edge of the box. They did really well, Monaco. They kept the ball, they didn't put it in the box. There was only Magalon in the box. I think he looked to put it in Diatta, but in the end, he just cuts it back here. That they work it well. He has a little glance. Shall I put it in there? No. We'll work it again, and there's the space. Teze on the edge of the box, he shapes up to go to the left. Look, he shapes up, he's going in the other corner, but he whips it back in that top corner. Donnarumma can't move his feet, doesn't move his feet quick enough to get there. My word, what a response from Monaco. Fabulous goal, right in the top corner.
2 years since his last European goal. That night it was memorable as he scored a 95th minute equaliser for PSV against Sevilla. Well, he's gone and found another equaliser with a spectacular effort. It's their first shot on goal and they've scored.
Two wonderful goals they've had here this evening, but so different, aren't they? So different. But, well, Sydney didn't think they had a game on, they had now.
Fans have found their voice again, having lost it momentarily when Haaland opened. Off again here, and still going, trying to find Balogun. Squeezing it through was Koulibaly. We've got the wind in their sails now.
This is Vanderson here, he goes to the Doku leaves the ball behind, and that doesn't look like a very nice injury because I don't think there was any contact there.
Has he overextended his knee?
Yeah, something's happened. As he stopped, he jarred it. He's in agony, isn't he? And that doesn't look good. When that happens to a player, you are concerned.
You can tell by his reaction as well, can't you? So substitute sent to warm up here. Vanderson, 24-year-old Brazilian. Capped 7 times for his country. Important for Monaco in that wing-back role. Look at him, devastated.
Yeah, there was no contact there, was there? Sometimes if you get a whack, but no, he knows he's done something really bad there. Poor lad.
Well, he'll be assisted off. They will certainly hope that it isn't as serious as it looks. I was at St James's Park on Sunday when Tino Livramento had a very similar extension of the leg, and certainly when his foot planted in the floor, he was upset. Newcastle have had the good news today that it's likely more to be weeks rather than months, but Anderson will hope the same, so will Monaco. He's off the pitch, receiving a little bit more treatment now, but you can just see how upset he is, hiding his tears beneath his shirt as the confirmation of the substitute is made. And Kasum Ouattara is the man elected to replace Vanderson. On his 4th ever appearance in the Champions League for the 20-year-old Frenchman Ouattara, France in the 21 international. Fati, good delivery, and the header was there as well. Just couldn't get the power behind it. Just looking over that far side, doesn't look like the physios are working on Vanderson. They're just leaving him to have his moment.
It looked like the way he was walking off, I think he should have had a stretcher to go off because you're doing more harm. I think it looked to me as if he couldn't put any weight through it at all, and I think he can do more damage. I think they're calling for a stretcher now.
Yeah, the stretcher making its way round as Manchester City at the other end look to get back in front. Rodri, Bernardo squares up against Ouattara. Here's Stones. Put that more with the inside of his boot than his outside. Ansu Fati. Balogun will try and beat Diaz in a foot race. He got there first. Puts it too far for Donnarumma. Vardiol stops Akliouche advancing. But he'll get it back and just off the radar of Balogun.
Yeah, I just feel that City have got to switch in defensively. You know, when they're attacking, the defenders have got to defend when they're in possession, because in the minute the ball turns over, they're looking dangerous, Monaco, every time they break.
Well, Monaco wanted a better showing than they got on match day one, the 4-1 defeat at Club Brugge. I think their fans have got that this evening. Rodri, Foden, looking for Reinders. It comes to Bernardo. He wasn't scared to shoot against his former club.
Yeah, it was a difficult one for him because he has to send it outside the post actually and bring it back, but he had a defender in front of him, and I think he just catches it, goes straight down the goalkeeper's throat, doesn't it?
Really interesting to hear from Bernardo Silva yesterday in the build-up to this game. Has that gone out of play? Yes, it has. And Joško Vardiol, who stepped across there, might have got a little lucky. Official on this near side was looking down the line. Adi Hutter has just done a little word in the linesman's ear to perhaps give his thoughts that it wasn't out of play. But Bernardo Silva, contract up at the end of the year, says he's made up his mind what he's going to do, but didn't want that to be a distraction, so he's kept it quiet from the media and the fans. Joined Manchester City from Monaco in 2017. Pep Guardiola says he's been a pleasure to work with.
It sounds like he's going then, doesn't it? He's been a terrific player. He really still is a terrific player. And he can play inside and, you know, 10 pocket positions, and he can play wide. He's a bit feisty as well. He can track back. He reads the game well defensively as also, but yeah, all-round player.
Says his target for this season is to try and get the club back to where it belongs. Silverware is what he meant by that, having gone trophyless last season for the first time since Pep Guardiola's first season in charge. How far off their best are they, Glenn?
I think they're getting closer and closer. They're not quite there yet, but I think, you know, when Rodri plays a lot more games and plays naturally, where he hasn't got something sort of subconscious about his knee, and other players get fitter and fitter. The new players come in as well. He looks like the buy-in's been excellent.
Diaz's work till Manchester City snuffed it out. Doku to Stones. That licence to pull Manchester City forward. Haaland and Foden were both over there. Stones went for Bernardo instead. Foden. Monaco have realigned themselves. Can Manchester City break through those lines.
Playing at that slow tempo at the moment, City, but that's where the goal came from. It was slow, and then suddenly Ireland, bang, makes that run off the back of a defender, and the ball's in behind you before you know it. That's what they're just waiting for, to set it up correctly.
They can turn it on in a flash. They did for the goal. O'Reilly. He's Reinders. Here we go, Foden. Stopped by Salisu. Otherwise, Haaland was in.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're looking for, that moment. And Haaland seems to know exactly when the danger's on. Look, he's gone again, and I think he slid in the inside right position. He was in on goals.
Once again, it was Salisu reading the play. He's Reinders. Just never curled back in towards that post.
Yeah, wriggles through nicely, doesn't it? Good quick feet. Couldn't quite wrap his foot round it. That would have been a little touch there, you know, for a corner. But he couldn't get his foot to curl the ball. He had to snap through it. Couldn't get that curl to get it going. There's the one. Again, Haaland, Salisu just cuts it out, doesn't he? Foden trying to thread it through after Haaland makes a really good run.
See if those legs of Salisu stretch just the same. A little later on in the game when they're tired.
Well, that's the problem when you play City. They keep the ball and they keep shifting the ball, and at the end of the day, mentally you switch off, and they're waiting for that. They're okay when everyone's energised and defenders are talking, communication. They've got a nice shape about them, but the game will get stretched as we go into the second half.
Foden starting to see a little bit of the ball in the last 2 or 3 minutes or so. Last 2 or 3 waves of Manchester City pressure. Ronaldo. Stones, good vision. O'Reilly. Bernardo Silva's peeled away, and it was a little too strong from the little man.
Yeah, he's exactly spread with himself. I'm not sure if he's gone. To knock that ball back across the box. They make the overload.
It closer to the Manchester City goal. You'll be able to watch all of those games live on TNT. And every game also live from the Conference League too. Crystal Palace go to Dynamo Kyiv. Aberdeen, Shamrock, Rovers all involved in the Conference League as well.
Sure, there's much of a foul there. Maybe his ref seeing his hand on him, but that's the area when Monaco have put players ahead of the ball. If you pinch it there, then Haaland can hit you on the break over the top. He's got absolutely everything. So he's got the pace to go in behind and the things he does when the ball's at his feet or when he's been given a chance.
So Teze over this. Keira's up there, Salisu too. Teze just beyond the reach of Dyer. Monaco have scored and conceded in each of the last 6 games they have played in. I was concerned about how tight they would be at the back tonight. They've resisted Manchester City for now. Back of 5, just tracking back with every step that John Stones takes. Riders to O'Reilly. Foden, that tight footwork, but O'Reilly will take over. And it's a big save from Kern to deny the youngster. Manchester-born youngster struck it well.
Yeah, he did struck it well. He's finding himself, he's not in that normal position, he's finding himself in that inside left position. And the ball just comes to him, he's hit the target on that near post. Might have gone across the goal if he could, although he was under a bit of pressure, to be fair. There were a couple of players just coming in on him and he's just happy to hit the target. But he's picking up some nice little positions, not wide necessarily, but just tucked in. I think once he gets picked up also, it frees Foden up.
O'Reilly Somebody who watched the first leg of the last 16 between these two 8 years ago as a fan in the Etihad Stadium. He'd have been just 12. It's a year ago this month that he made his Champions League debut. Diatta will chase, Diatta will keep that in, and he will turn round O'Reilly as well. And Kliush there in support. Balogun taking out Joško Vardiol, who's gone Eric Cantona with his collar there. Yellow card given by the referee. Is that for time wasting from Donnarumma? It was.
He's been watching some videos, hasn't he, the referee? He had that one up his sleeve waiting. I think you've seen him do that a few times for Paris Saint-Germain, and since he's been at City as well.
Scared to brandish a yellow card, the referee. This season in particular, not scared to brandish a red either. Sent off Dean Howson a couple of weeks ago for Real Madrid. Narrow win over Real Sociedad. Rodri. Vardiol, who's still not folded down that collar. Diaz. Manchester City trying to find a way through before half-time. Patience from Manchester City. Foden. Waiting for that one moment to unlock a tight, compact Monaco. Well, defence, midfield and attack force, it's all as one here. This is a carefully crafted string of passes here from Manchester City. Monaco cannot get a touch. They'll happily keep Manchester City, though, where they are. Finally, it breaks down. Kliush looking for the foul, referee unmoved. And Manchester City will go again. Foden, the stretch of the leg, just moves it into the path of Bernardo. Just waiting for that one moment.
Yeah.
That split second where City think quicker than Monaco. Foden was held back a little bit there. Soon released. Stones. Bernardo. And it's Reinders, and Haaland couldn't make the impossible angle possible.
Couldn't quite stretch, could he, his left leg to get that ball back in, but that's the patience that they've shown City, and then suddenly it's somebody that's in behind. It's Bernardo Silva this time that makes a darting run. Keeper doesn't really, that's got to go Actually, it's not a bad save, to be fair to him. Look, he's not quite hit it, Reinders, but he's gone square. Hasn't come out in the danger zone. That's the reason why Haaland can't wrap his foot round it. In the end, Kone, it's a good save.
Last thing when you make a good save from Reinders, you want to see is Haaland picking or trying to pick up the loose ball. Akliouche trying to step inside. Teze, since he won't want to leave him in too much space from there for long. Premier League action for you Saturday, 11 o'clock. Tottenham, after their draw last night in the Arctic Circle against Bodo Glimt, face challenging circumstances of a different nature when they go to Ellen Road to take on Leeds. And then we've also got Gallagher Premiership action, round 2, every match live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. It all kicks off on Friday when Bath take on Sale. 7 o'clock TNT Sports 1 for that one. This is Doku. 90 seconds left of the first half. Doku through to Foden. They make those runs so well, Manchester City. It's O'Reilly to Haaland. Oh! The header had to be so perfect, and it was. Erling Haaland at it again in the Champions League for Manchester City, who look like they will go in at half-time with an advantage. They lead by 2-1.
This guy is phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. It's a floated ball in from Riley. There's no power really on the ball. Look, it's a float. Look how powerful. He just shrugs off Salisu, and it's a jump, little darting bit of movement. Fabulous header. Doesn't try and head it too hard. He guides it into that bottom corner. Oh my word. I mean, thank God he doesn't have 30, 40 touches a game. How many would he score then? That is incredible finishing. I mean, he's hardly had a kick, and he's 2 goals tucked under his belt. What a striker. Fantastic. And people are saying, "Are City back?" Well, this lad's back, and if he's back, then City are back.
Whether he stretches a long leg, whether he stretches his neck muscles, you just can't stop Erling Haaland.
He's got absolutely everything that you need in a centre forward. You know, he can go in, as I said, he can go in behind. If you're playing counter football themselves, he's got the pace to turn people, and his hold-up play, his left foot, right foot, headed. Oh my word, he's got everything. Incredible.
Well, Monaco responded quickly after going behind the first time around. They've got a minute to respond now at the end of this first half. This is the man who scored their equaliser, Teze. Akliouche, it's a case of giving it to him and hope for the best. It is in towards Balogun, and Monaco will end this half with a corner.
Yeah, good defending in the end from City. Stayed concentrated, no spaces, looked between the defenders, closed the gaps, made sure, and I think it was Guardiola that flicks it out for the corner, but more concentrated after they've just scored. The last goal, the first goal, wow, they were a bit sleepy, and they might have conceded straight after.
One last go at the end of this half. Teze sends it high. Vardiol heads it high. Back in it goes. Donnarumma claims from on high. And with that, Manchester City can end on a high. Through their big number 9, Erling Haaland at the double again. 2 genius goals. One with his long legs and one with his long frame to get a header at the end of the first half. Teze might claim goal of the night for his equaliser for Monaco. But Manchester City, in their first away trip of this Champions League campaign, heading at the break. A goal to the good. Monaco 1, Manchester City 2.
This programme is brought to you by Pepsi, UEFA Champions League, official partner.
We've got a scarily good lineup this October on TNT Sport, starting with Europe's elite battling it out as the UEFA League phases take shape. England head to cricket paradise as they take on New Zealand in the White Ball Series. The Gallagher Prem Derby weekend is back with a bang. And Tom Aspinall takes on Cyril Gane at UFC 321 for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. No tricks, just streets. And every one of them is live this October on TNT Sports.
There's over £2 million worth of cash prizes to be won with the Monopoly game at McDonald's. Play now.
Our new Dyson is the most powerful anti-tangle cordless vacuum. It automatically adapts power to any floor. Conical brush bars detangle long hair from floors and furniture. The bin compresses to hold 30 days of dust with tools built in. And when you empty, the bin is wiped clean. A separate wet cleaning head will even wash floors. The most powerful anti-tangle cordless vacuum. Explore the whole floor care range at Dyson.
This full-grown veg is a full-blown ledge. This lush Cavolo Nero is hand-picked here in Britain, so you know it's hella fresh. This cheeky little number makes any dish naughty. Go all fancy with Aldi, specially selected.
See what you could save with half-price electricity every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. British Gas Peak Save, one of the ways we're taking care of things.
People are choosing EE Broadband. Switch to the UK's fastest growing broadband provider.
Amazon Prime Big Deal Days are the 7th and 8th of October. 2 days of big deals on electronics, home, kitchen and more that'll make you feel like a big deal. Amazon Prime Big Deal Days are the 7th and 8th of October, exclusively for Prime members. Join Prime now.
McDelivery? Where in?
Oh, fries for me.
Wait, did someone say fries? I'm in.
There's nothing quite like a McDelivery. You in?
Remember how the stars stole the night away.
Range that lasts up to 680 miles. Memories that last a lifetime. New Renault Austral full hybrid e-tech self-charging. New Renault Austral with 0% APR representative for £299 per month.
Spring awakens with a sea of blue florals. Their refreshing scent filling the air. If only you could smell it.
Well, now you can. Thanks to the outdoor freshness of New Bold. Just breathe it all in. New Bold. Outdoor freshness that lasts and lasts.
Some footballers know the truth. That hard work is a weapon. Used to live their dream, and then someone else's. So in a world of footballers trying to be the solution, what do? Football's got enough heroes.
This programme is brought to you by Just Eat. UEFA Champions League, official partner.
Welcome back, everybody. It's half-time across Europe, but just letting you know, if you don't already, that we are the destination for England cricket this autumn and winter. On Saturday, the 18th of October, England kick off their white ball series in New Zealand. And that is just the appetizer, because in November, we turn our attention to the Ashes. You can catch every ball exclusively live on TNT Sports and Discovery+. OK, let's take a look at how it's going out in Monaco. Manchester City are 2-1 up. It's Erling Haaland with the 2 City goals. Let's look at his first one. Shay, 15 minutes in, his first touch of the ball, and this is what he does.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal run. You see the Monaco leave space in behind, keep an eye on him here. And it's just a bit of eye-to-eye contact, I think, with Guardiola, and watch the speed he gets off here. Salisu, the defender, doesn't know to push up, drop off. And by the time he reacts, it's just a brilliant finish. And again, the keeper comes out and bounces up. It's nearly like it's too easy. I mean, it makes it look so easy, but it's not. The run, the sprint, the finesse at the end. It's just a brilliant goal from the big man, really is.
He's an absolute phenomenon, isn't he? But Monaco did come back within 3 minutes, actually, with a fantastic equaliser. Do you wonder if City could have done better defensively, though?
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes the strike that lead to a goal are unstoppable, and I definitely think that was the case here. But what I do think is preventable is this pass. Again, I think City are guilty of having too many back and not affecting the game. The 5 players that are highlighted there, I think if one of them stays out, particularly Rodri, I think it frees up Phil Foden to be higher up the pitch and close down Teze, but take nothing away from the strike. I don't think Donnarumma could do anything with that just yet.
No, it's a great finish. It really is top end. Julian's right. The midfield have dropped too deep, and he's got the space on the edge of the box. It's a brilliant goal, and no chance for Donnarumma.
No chance for Donnarumma, but another chance for Erling Haaland, and he made it 2-1. This is now his 11th City goal of the season so far. He is on an absolute roll. Talk us through this one.
Well, he's had 7 touches in this half, and 2 of them's been goals. He don't care how many touches, but watch his movement here. It's absolutely brilliant. Peels off the 2 centre-halves, and then just as the cross comes in, he comes alive. He's 6'5", whatever he is, and that's nearly undefendable. It's pure defending. Yeah. Salisu, again, he's too square onto the ball. But again, I'd like to see more of Erling Haaland there. He's so big, he's so dominant. And me and Julian sort of commented, you said off air, he's nearly sprung that high, he's ducking down to hit it. It's a brilliant header, isn't it?
It's
fantastic.
Header.
His movement, his recognition of where to be, and like you said, his touches, he's not phased that he doesn't get involved in too much play, but he causes so many problems, especially with the first goal that we see. He's direct running, he's running off the ball when, as I said, he's probably not recognisable, but his efficiency in the box is remarkable.
That's exactly it, isn't it? Because if that was anyone else, you'd say, well, they're a bit lazy, aren't they? They're not doing enough. Whereas Erling Haaland, he gets you 2 goals, so it doesn't actually matter how many touches he gets. Wow, what a first half then for Erling Haaland. Manchester City, it's only 2-1 for them at the moment, but what about Haaland then? He made history in the last match day by becoming the fastest player to reach 50 Champions League goals. He's added another 2 today. I wonder if he's got any more in the locker in that second half. Stay with us, because that's up next.
This programme is brought to you by Pepsi, UEFA Champions League, official partner.
So, after 4 years in the classic car restoration business, every cog is running perfectly.
And when are you going to pay these? You've lost money. It's not looking good.
Yep, thanks, Mum. Brand new Richard Hammond's Workshop, streaming October the 6th on Discovery+.
Shoo, 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 Sugar Town.
Gemini, which of these would be a little less expected?
Check out the alliums. They'd go great with the hydrangeas below.
Will those last till Saturday?
Yes, they should last until Saturday.
Google Pixel 10.
That's very impressive, Angela.
Oh, my smart meter display. Oh, yes, thanks to my smart meter, my energy company rewards me when I move my energy use to off-peak times. That's when I do the laundry. I do the gardening off-peak, too.
Ooh, so it pays to be flexible, Angela.
It all helps, Albert.
Get rewarded for using energy flexibly, only with a smart meter.
Don't be scared. You and your dad are in trouble. We have to leave here right away.
I used to run around and do some real bad. Now they're coming after us.
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
Dice, sweetie. It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
What is wrong with you?
I'm gonna protect you.
No fear.
Let's go!
One
battle after another. In cinemas now. Book tickets.
Have you seen Ryan? Think he's made a new signing. Tasty number 9 from the menu arriving. Zara's sorry, but she can't make it tonight. She's working late, she's proper chock-a-block. Yeah, right. Did somebody say just eat?
Welcome aboard the VA282. Coming through. Prepare for landing.
How's it going?
Good morning. Let's go, guys.
When'd she get here?
Let's go.
Do you see her?
I think we won. Good morning. Come on, let's go.
We got here first. We did it. Nah, she's right there.
Good morning, guys.
You wake up, good morning, it's a brand new day. Blue skies above, it's a perfect day.
Beyond the sea, she's there watching.
14 nights in the Caribbean from 1399. I'm gonna need a bigger bucket list.
P&O Cruises. Holiday like never before. At all protected.
Thanks, Dad.
Don't worry, I got you. Pull out.
That's life.
I got this, Dad.
That's what all
There's a car.
people say. You're riding high in April.
You can go.
Down with me. You know I'm gonna
Good job.
that too.
Oh, watch out, Dad.
Meet the refreshed Volvo XC60 with driver support.
Okay, guys, no, it's time.
Oh, that's some goal. Wow. Now McGinn. The stage is set. Sit back and take it all in.
This programme is brought to you by Just Eat, UEFA Champions League, official partner.
So much going on across Europe here. If you want to stay in touch with absolutely every single goal as it happens, make sure you join the team on Goals Show Extra there on TNT Sports 3 at the moment. Arsenal are currently a goal up against Olympiacos at the Emirates. That one's on TNT Sports 1. You've got Barcelona, PSG. It's a goal apiece in that one. You can watch that one live on TNT Sports 4. Here on 2, of course, we are returning to Monaco as the players are taken to the pitch for this second half. It's currently Manchester City who are ahead. 2 Erling Haaland goals. What a phenomenon this player is. You feel like he's in the mood for it. There could be some more. Let's see how it pans out. I'm going to hand you over back to our commentary team, I should say. Glenn Hoddle, but first, Mike Maine. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Resh. 7 touches, Glenn Hoddle. 2 goals, 7 touches.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. And I was watching him. I was just watching him off the ball, and he's up against 3 centre-backs as well, and they've not come out. As we were saying, Monaco are dropping in deep, making it difficult for City. But and he stood for so long without making movement because they're patient. And then suddenly, at that right moment, the correct moment, he gets himself in those positions. Bang, he's off the back of Dyer, and the ball's in the back of the net. And then he waits for the cross, and then a sharp bit of movement to lose his defender. And what a jump and what a header in that bottom corner. Incredible. What is he now set up to do? Yet another hat-trick. I don't know how many he's had.
It'll be his 12th for Manchester City.
That's incredible, isn't it? Well, let's hope he can do it this half, because he's had 7 touches, and it's interesting that in that first half he's man of the match because he's had 7 touches. It's quite incredible.
So the team's back out. There is Pep Guardiola. Jurgen Klopp was speaking about him this week, talking about the respect they had for each other. But he did say there was one thing that Pep Guardiola managed to do better than Jurgen Klopp, self-admission from Klopp this, and that was in the last 6-7 years that they've been battling it out with each other. Pep managed to improve his golf handicap. Jurgen Klopp says, I never had a minute to play golf. How on earth does Pep manage it?
He's got Haaland in his squad.
Doesn't have to think about anything else.
You think about it, yeah. Messi and Haaland, God, yeah. To work with those, the quality of those players, incredible.
I'm sure Pep Guardiola enjoyed Team Europe's win at the Ryder Cup in what turned out to be a tight affair against the USA. Scoreline's a little tight for now, but the way Manchester City played in the first half, you can see them running away with it like Europe did on days 1 and 2. Roderick, crucial interception ahead of Amadou Koulibaly there. Manchester City will be one of a handful of teams that win 2 from 2. If they get through the next 45 minutes or so, that is, of course.
They've still got a bit of work to do, haven't they?
Doubling up on Jeremy Doku. And the referee says the last touch was off the Belgian. Not sure I'm convinced about that.
It's a very difficult one for him to see, actually, but it was a lovely little run from Doku, I've got to say. Good wing play, he's cut inside, and O'Reilly's just knocked him that little ball, and he's darting in on the centre-backs.
Arsenal on course to make it 2 wins from 2 as well. They lead at home to Olympiacos. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Inter Milan all have 2 wins from 2, as do the Azerbaijani side, Karabakh, who beat Copenhagen earlier today. We know that Manchester City don't have to change anything necessarily in the way they play second half. Do Monaco, Glenn?
Well, I think in time, I don't think they'll go pressing high up the pitch to try and put City's back four under pressure. I think they'll do it as the game progresses. If they're just still the 1-goal deficit, they'll take a few risks in that last 15 minutes. I think they know if they open up against City, then it plays into their hands.
That was a high boot from Ruben Diaz. I'm not sure whether he made contact or not, but it's the threat of the high boot that referee Jesus Gil Manzano has given the foul in Monaco's favour.
Yeah, particularly he's tried to drag it down, Diaz, there in the last minute. He knew that it was going to be an offence.
Well, Monaco wanted to go quickly there. It has taken out Phil Foden. Monaco wanted the ability to retake the free kick, and the referee wasn't having that.
Yeah, Dyer just smashes it at Foden because he's not walking backwards, and he's got to be given 10 yards. And he's got to, if you're walking backwards slowly, I can understand that you're biding your team a little bit of time. But I think Phil just stood there a little bit too long, and Dyer smashed it at him.
Thankfully hit Phil Foden's left wrist, not the bandaged right wrist that Phil Foden has.
I think you can see a little bit of a higher press from Monaco. They've slightly gone up the pitch. They were prepared first half to just drop, almost like basketball, drop into the halfway line, even deeper than that. I think they're just pushing a few bodies higher up the pitch there, which will give the little pockets areas for Foden to get into, for Reinders to get into as well now.
Foden's touch teed up Akliouche, not that he could take too much advantage of it. Rodri, of course, was being the shielding option for Manchester City. Rodri uses Diaz. Manchester City in their 15th successive year in the Champions League. They've reached the knockout in the last 12 quarter-finals or better in 7 of the last 8. And they'll be in that group of teams discussed to win the competition. Last year out in the knockout playoff round. Doku. Oh, that's guided towards his own goal. Keeper was alert, had to be.
Yeah, he cuts inside, he's trying to just curl one in there, and I think it's Akliouche, it comes off his knee, and keeper's just alert enough for him. But Monaco have got to do a little bit more. They've got to press a little bit higher. I think they've got to be a bit more efficient on the ball and try and hit City on the break here. They've got to get back in the game somehow.
Used to being damaging at the other end, Akliouche very nearly proved damaging at the wrong end. Fourth in Liga, Monaco. 4 points worse off than they were this time last year when they were level at the top with PSG. Reinders. Bernardo Silva available to him. The overlap comes, the cross comes in. Dyer sees it away. And Balogun has got him around Vardiol. All of that work had to be done alone. Ansu Fati was trying to join the party, just not in time.
That's the problems. Monaco players are so deep, they can't get up with anyone who actually does break in behind that Man City back four.
These players try and readjust in position. Manchester City look to exploit. They might have here. Haaland was waiting. Kern was in the way.
Reinders just couldn't lift it. I think it needed to be lifted. I think it was just being put off balance. Salisu just gave him a little nudge there. He just couldn't get underneath the ball for Haaland.
Kern, the German goalkeeper. His 5th start in a row tonight. Just recently reached the half-century of appearances for Monaco. Ansu Fati, who scored on his only appearance against Manchester City prior to tonight, is going to get himself into position from here. Cross blocked at source, but it's given the home side a corner.
He hasn't really been in the game, has he, Ansu Fati, but he picks up a little, there's a little wrestling match going on there, but the referee's played on correctly. In the end, it's John Stones that gets across, hands behind the back, as we've seen. Defenders got to do it nowadays. Gets that blocking.
So everybody back for Manchester City. That includes the striker Erling Haaland. Dyer's waiting right in front of Donnarumma. Akliouche. Now the run made by Balogun. He just couldn't guide that where he wanted to.
Yeah, he guides round the back, just sneaks round the back of all the City defenders. Nobody picks him up. It's a decent ball in as well. Good pace on it, and he just cannot get his foot round it. He actually misses the ball. That's a really, really good chance.
Rodri in trouble. think everybody of a blue persuasion is just saying right now, please not the knee.
He just plays the ball off, and it's a bit of a clash there. It's nothing nasty. I just think there was a clash, and you're just hoping that it's not the knee, as you say. I think it might have been his head, actually. I just barged him.
It's Nathan Ake. Savino and Mateus Nunez are warming up as well.
No, he just took one in the ribs a little bit, winded him a little bit. He's okay.
John Stones, Manchester City's sole remainer from the team that played in 2017 here, losing on away goals after a 6-6 aggregate scoreline. City won 5-3 at the Etihad, lost 3-1 here. Willy Caballero was in goal for Manchester City that night. It was a Monaco side that featured Bernardo Silva and Kylian Mbappe. Doku, O'Reilly, the touch was heavy. Doesn't mean the chance has gone. Does when Dyer's there.
Lovely combination from Doku and O'Reilly. He fed him the ball earlier, O'Reilly, and then he makes another little darting run behind. They gain the corner. Dyer just cuts out that near post. But it's wonderful little bit of play down this left-hand side.
I think the keeper had it covered, but Dyer couldn't take that chance.
Well, not with Haaland hanging around.
Be ready, be ready.
Mardial adjusts his collar. Reinders, it's deep. One header is a Monaco one. Bernardo Silva is onto the second ball. Foden. Rodri, oh, his touch was heavy. Just showed the way through there for Koulibaly, who is fouled, and Rodri goes into the book.
Yeah, referee tried to play on, didn't he? Tried to give the advantage to Monaco on the break, but Rodri just got caught napping there with his back to play. Game's different when you've got your back to play, and he just gets caught there, pulls him down, and professional foul in many ways.
Space around the back here for Diatta. Akliouche. Still going, Akliouche. He's had a bout of illness. He missed the Lorient game, the defeat at the weekend for Monaco. Only returned to training after a few days out on Monday. So important as he is to this Monaco side, he's back in and having to play the best part of an hour so far. Doku, Foden has the space to take the shot on that he's blocked, and now Monaco with City going forward try and do their own thing with Ansu Fati. On season-long loan from Barcelona. Balogun has got to hold that up and wait for the support that arrives through Ansu Fati. Akliouche peels away. Akliouche takes on the shot, Donnarumma. Down quickly. Good reactions from the Manchester City shot stopper.
Wow, what a fabulous save there. Akliouche takes it on the outside, goes through the legs of O'Reilly, and his reactional save there is perfect, absolutely. And he's got his teammates coming in to clear the ball as well, but fabulous save. You can talk about goalkeepers' feet and whatever, but for me, that's what goalkeepers are for. Save the ball from going in the back of the net. Wonderful save.
He's fitted in so quickly, Gianluigi Donnarumma, into this Manchester City side. Champions League medal holder from last year with PSG, wants to help Manchester City do it this year. In goes the corner towards Dyer. Fati. dangerous last time when they lifted in a ball from a similar position. Akliouche didn't hit that cleanly at all. Somehow trying to bundle it through and keep it alive for Monaco, and he's done the same again. And that brings on the crowd approval too. Brilliant from the young Frenchman. Sent in by Teze, the turn from Salisu. And still Monaco here. Oh, the shot's a poor one. Koulibaly. There's been a couple of times in this second half where Monaco have fired in a warning shot, but they've got to start getting them on target.
Absolutely, they've had their chances there. Bernardo, the captain there, ducks out of a challenge there. He's got to clear that ball, but Balogun should have scored. They've had some half chances as well. This game, they've got to put this game to bed, actually, City, with a third goal. They really have. I think Rodri's coming off here. Bit of protection from Pep.
Jeremy Doku departs, as does Rodri, who's lasted an hour. And City continue to work him through his return to full match fitness. On a booking as well might not have helped him staying on the field for much longer. Nico comes on, as does Savinho, who, despite the links to Tottenham in the summer, Pep Guardiola this week has said that the club was so clear that they wanted to keep him. The bright talent on the wings for Manchester City with pace and creativity. Bad news for Monaco is you get rid of one creative winger in Doku and another one comes on in his place.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And Savinho can play left or right side, can't he? He's very dangerous coming off that, the right wing, coming inside on his left foot. Similar to what Mahrez did when he was here.
Where's the number of Riyad Mahrez as well? O'Reilly. Still bellowing those instructions. Game number 542 as Manchester City manager now. 3 Champions League winners' medals as a manager. Ball doesn't get to Balogun. Might have a second go at this one, Ouattara. Keira, the former West Ham man, is able to play tonight. He won't play in the next Ligue 1 game. He was sent off in the defeat to Lorient in the weekend in the first half. Savinho did win it back. Diatta reacted quicker. Diatta's slow reaction has given Manchester City a free kick.
Yeah, good referee in there. I think Savinho was away there. I think Pep's walking up and down. He's instructing. He knows this game isn't over. They've got to get a third goal to finish this team off. I mean, Monaco will be pleased with the way they've played. Actually, they've defended stoutly. They've done well. They know they're up against a fabulous team that can open you up. But they've looked dangerous as well. They've looked as if they can always score.
Guardiola was praising Monaco's philosophy of young players and how they can be aggressive. They've certainly been tighter than they were against Club Bruges. It's away to Diaz, even if it is not intended off Nico. Monaco change. He's going to see Stanis Idumbo enter the field. His third game in a row coming off the bench. Got his Monaco debut earlier this season. Another graduate at the Ajax Academy. Ansu Fati makes way for him. Monaco only managed 2 attempts on goal in the first half. They're up to 7 now. Not the most intense game of Champions League football you'll ever see, but it's been tactically managed, this one.
Yeah, I think that the fact that City are so patient and they're built up and everyone's comfortable on the ball. And that Monaco are, you know, saying, look, we're going to be 20 yards from our front player to our back 5. There's 20 yards and we're going to press in between that area. If they go back or across, we'll reshuffle and be patient defensively. So we've got a team patient on the ball. We've got a team that are being really patient defensively, and they're making sure the distances are not spread too far apart.
City just being forced back here by Monaco. And as I say that, they managed to play it away and spread it as well. And Nico O'Reilly, Savinho's pointing where he wants it. It's offside for a large part of that. Nico O'Reilly sells the dummy to Diatta as well. Foden. Quick turn in that pocket of space. It squeezes into Bernardo Silva. By Salisu. Monaco player down for now. Manchester City will play on. Here's Stones. Was looking for the movement of Erling Haaland, as they all do. Nico. Nico, whose only goal for Manchester City came in the Champions League at Real Madrid last year. Knockout playoff round that Manchester City would lose to, the earliest they'd ever exited the Champions League under Pep Guardiola. Mateus Nunes is preparing to come on for Manchester City as well in a moment. O'Reilly. Savinho, which way is he going to dance? Foden with the turn. Haaland had started to move. Keira cut that one out. Monaco don't get far at all. Slowly pushing Monaco further and further into their defensive third here, Manchester City.
This is that period of time in the game where it becomes really mentally difficult for Monaco. They've chased the ball, they've shuttled across, they've pressed the ball. Every time a City player gets the ball, they've got to get their head down. But this is where they might just clock off for a couple of seconds, and that's where the likes of Haaland, Foden, Reinders, that makes a little darting run and they're in.
Mateus Nunes has been waiting to come on for a couple of minutes now. The thing is, Manchester City aren't giving up the ball. And even when they lose it, they get it back within a split second. Bernardo Silva. Now Ruben Diaz. Two Portuguese internationals split by the Spaniard of Nico. John Stones. Three in the middle there for City. Reinders, Foden, Haaland. Here is Reinders, who's just dropped a little bit to offer that element of support. Get the pass calculator out. Haaland lays it into the path of Phil Foden. Just ran out of room on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's wonderful football from City, it really was. And Haaland just comes into play on the occasion and sets it nicely for Foden. But you've just got to be vigilant that this Monaco's side is not out of it. They're going to break. As they get closer to the 90th minute, they're going to throw bodies forward. I think they'll keep the same shape with the back three, but I think already Dyer's just popping into midfield.
For as long as there's one goal in it, they are not out of this game. It's been a while since he last touched the ball. Teze. Diatta. Now it's City's turn to be organised defensively. Fans just turn up the volume by a couple of notches. Akliouche on a charging run. Koulibaly. He's missed a big chance for Monaco this evening. Diatta. Clever run from Koulibaly. Spotted the space of Teze, who's lining up another. Not as good as his effort in the first half, which resulted in the Monaco goal.
No, obviously not as good with his left as he is with his right there. Look, that's an awful shot. Tries to wrap around it, but the fact is that when Monaco have got possession in City's half now, Dyer isn't staying at the back. He's going into midfield, making an extra player. And I think this is the time where coach has gone, come on, we've got to go for the goal. And see if City can get a little bit more space on the break now.
So at last, Mateus Nunes can come on for Manchester City. John Stones, again, another player whose minutes are being carefully monitored. Probably would have come off 3 or 4 minutes ago if Manchester City had given up the ball. Mateus, who scored in the weekend 5-1 win over Burnley in the Premier League. Lovely flick-on header from Phil Foden. And Savinho has most of the left-hand side to run into. Pulls it back for Reinders. Reinders goes for it! The second time in this game that Manchester City have hit the bar. The rising shot with the woodwork to deny Manchester City a third.
I just said that they might get a bit more space to hit Monaco on the counter because they're throwing bodies forward, and that's exactly what they've done. And Reinders is so unfortunate there. He switches the ball from right foot to left and cracks it against the bar. They need that third at the moment, you feel.
Still waiting then for his first Manchester City European goal. Scored a couple last year for AC Milan, a couple at Club Bruges, one at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid in a 3-1 win for the Italian side that night. Here he is again, trying to be crafty. That's a touch that gives it back. Haaland will look goal bound! And Kern reacted well enough as Haaland went in search of his hat-trick.
Well, again, he's been out of the game, Haaland, again, like we said first half, and as soon as he gets a little glimmer on that goal, he gets a really good shot. Kona, you just have to make a really decent save. This is the Reinders one. He's very unlucky. Shifts the ball, actually, very quickly, quick feet, left and right foot. Unfortunately, it flashes against the bar, beats the keeper quite easily at the end of the day. So unlucky, City there.
Plenty of height for Manchester City to go for here. Vardiol was the target. Reinders might have another look on goal here. Skipping shot just wide.
They didn't quite set it correctly, did he? But Haaland, again, he's not in the game, and suddenly he gets the ball on the edge of the box and bang, the goalie's having to make a really good save.
Just interested to see now, with 15 minutes left, how quickly Manchester City are going to try and kill this game off by getting that third goal.
Well, they'll do it patiently, that's for sure.
That was nice from Nico, but taking Teza in the process was not in the referee's favour.
Yeah, he just catches him with the hand there, doesn't he? Nice bit of play though, lovely turn from Nico.
A little bit more patient with that free kick, Monaco, this time, instead of sending it into a Manchester City player. Keira. Teze. Akliouche might have got the turn on Joško Vardiol there. Says he was limited. The official on this near side, close to the action, said no, neither did the referee. A couple of clever touches from Nico that I've noticed, where he's just able to take a little sidestep and suddenly create a load of space.
Yeah, it just creates that little bit, half a yard or more than half a yard for himself, but just gone in there in that Rodri position, and he's just doing the same job, just keeps the ball, got that little burst of pace, as you say, every now and again.
Who, Phil Foden's got a bandage on his wrist this evening. Fashion accessory more than it is a medical reason, perhaps. He's pushed on through here, Mateus. Not sure what Vardiol saw there, but it didn't work. More European football to come tomorrow night on TNT Sports from 5 o'clock. Every game of the Europa League. Celtic at home to Braga. Feyenoord take on Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest take on Midtjylland, and Sturm Graz host Rangers. And then in the Conference League, Palace go to Dynamo Kiev. They play that game in Poland. Aberdeen, Shelbourne, and Shamrock Rovers all in action as well. TNT Sports is the only place to watch every match live from both competitions. Be a big night at the City Ground, that one, Glenn.
Yes, I mean, some years now, isn't it, since the European football's been played there. European winners, as in the old European Cup. Magnificent days for Forest.
29 years since the City Ground last tasted European football. Triple change on the way for Monaco in a moment. At the bottom of your screen you can see that Pape Cabral is being readied. Haaland trying to get in, but Dyer's too wise for that.
Yeah, there's that little change of pace, that little spurt in behind the defence. It's just Dyer's toe gets there. Just has to be so patient himself, Haaland, doesn't he? Wait for that moment when it's on, and then when he knows when it's on as well.
Skill within itself, isn't it? To
It
be
is.
so alert when you don't get the gameplay, the touches.
Yeah, he's definitely he's on the prowl. He stands for long periods, but then he needs to go when it's on. My word, he makes that sprint.
Keep your eye on him here as he goes towards the near post. Nico. Anywhere will do for Monaco. Bernardo Silva's going to dink that one back in, but everyone had left the penalty area by then. Bireth and Eleni Kenner preparing to come on as well as part of that triple change. Just beyond the stretch of Diatta, and that will allow Monaco these changes. Florian Balogun will regret not connecting with that opportunity earlier in the second half. Could have had his side level. Teze, who got Monaco's equaliser in the first half, is off, as is Salisu. Take note of the 18-year-old French midfielder Pape Cabral coming on here. He got his senior debut at the weekend in the league defeat to Lorient. This is his first ever appearance in Europe. The French under-19 international will get the final 9 minutes or so here on the south of France. There's a bit of a debate going on down here in terms of the numbers and who's going, but you can see on your screen that Balogun, Teze and Salisu are the three that will go off. With Eleni Kenner and Bireth on, they're not giving up hope just yet, Monaco.
No, I think they need a bit of fresh energy on there, don't they? It's the right time for the manager to go for it. The fact that Salisu's come off, they'll go into a back four, so they'll have another player in that midfield area.
So Riley's throw. Holland elected not to come for it. It might have been the right decision as well. As Savinho finds him, Haaland tries to return the favour. Good defensive work in the end, a little bit last minute.
Yeah, it was Kera, a really good tackle there, sliding tackle, and straight away, you know, they're going to a back four, but they've got in easily there, City, all of a sudden.
Eric Dyer, again reading the play well. Some are signing on a free from Bayern Munich. Champions League runner-up with Spurs back in 2019. Fourth English player to have represented two non-English sides in the competition. Vardiol steps in and wins the corner. David Beckham, Jude Bellingham, and Sam Illing Jr. He played for both Juventus and Bologna in the Champions League, are the other three. So is Monaco's new attacking emphasis, a little bit sharp of mind from this corner. Teze left on, he wasn't one of those three changes in the end. There was a little bit of confusion. It will drop for the hit. Donnarumma went down, but it didn't get past Ruben Diaz. A free kick has now been won.
Yeah, Nico's not happy with that. He's touched him slightly, I don't know, he's gone down very easily there. This is the volley. Donnarumma's on his way, isn't he? It's on target. It's a really good header from Nico. He's got behind that and just guided it away. Really good defensive play there.
Bireth just trying to attract the attention of his teammates. The line's moved, Dyer's header. Some big appeals here that Dyer was caught. The referee has just stopped the play so that he can check that Dyer's okay. Anything more in that for you, Glenn?
Well, I think Nico's gone up with a higher foot to try and clear the ball, and I think Dyer's been brave enough to put his head in there.
Well, VAR is checking this.
I don't know what players are expected to do. I mean, the ball's been played in there. It's played in behind over the shoulder of Nico. He's got to go for it.
Well, the cheers you can hear are because across the Stade Louis II Stadium, they are told there is a potential penalty check. And Monaco, who have held on to keep this scoreline at just the one difference, might be hoping something comes from this. VAR checking in the background. Bernardo Silva talking to the referee, trying to explain the point of view of his teammates, I imagine. Eric Dyer now explaining where he was caught by Nico.
But you reverse the role, and Dyer's a defender. That ball goes in there at the other end. He's going to try and put his foot on it. He's going to try and get his foot to it. He knows he can't head it. Nico's running back. He can't see what's behind him, and you know, I don't get it.
VAR think there's more in this.
Yeah.
And the referee is going to the screen to review himself. Well, well, well. So they can talk about the penalty.
He's been booked. He's got to watch himself, Donnarumma.
The referee for now more interested in the TV screen than the antics of the Manchester City goalkeeper. Now it is all kicking off on the bench. The referee has to tear himself away from the screen to separate and judge what he does in this situation. It's already precarious enough for Manchester City.
It's all about Donnarumma's come over to the goalkeeping coach to see. He sent somebody off there, the referee. It's one of the coaches, I think, for Monaco. But Donnarumma's thrown the ball away now. He's not interested in the punch-up, and he's decided which way is he going to go, where's he take it. Now that should have been done before the game, surely. Although you've got to say the subs are on, so it might be a different player that's going to take the penalty. But that's why he's come over to the bench.
Well, two officials, two backroom staff of Manchester City have been set off. Donnarumma here, I think, is learning about the possible penalty takers and which way to go. Yellow card given to Bernardo Silva now for his complaints towards the referee. And a game that has been quite mild-mannered for 85 minutes or so has suddenly exploded. Here we get another look at this penalty.
I think he's got a touch on the ball as well, first. I mean, they could term it dangerous play, but what on earth, you know, he can get to the ball, and he has got to the ball. His foot's there, it's dangerous play. He's caught Dyer as well, but the fact that he actually touches the ball, he might get away with it.
Well, earlier in the second half, Ruben Diaz had a foul against him for a high foot that didn't make connection, but it was the threat of the high foot.
Well,
so they're being consistent.
But it didn't make connection on the ball either. He pulled his leg down a little bit. But when in them circumstances, that ball is whizzed in as a threat of a goal. So if you can get to it, you're going to put your foot there and get to it. If you leave it and Dyer scores, everyone's looking at you going, well, why didn't you play it? And I think that's the instinct of a player.
Well, Jesus Gil Manzano's had a good look at this.
It's going to be a penalty.
And he says, penalty to Monaco. The French side have hung on in this game. They have survived two scares of their crossbar being rattled. And for all of Manchester City's dominance in possession and the shot count, right at the end here, Monaco are going to get their chance to level.
It's plain there, you can see it from that angle. Nico plays the ball. He plays the ball, and I don't know what defenders are meant to do now when there's a ball played in from a free kick. Yes, it was a dangerous bit of play, but the ball was there to be won, and he won it. But in the modern day, with all the rules as they are, there's every chance it's going to be given as a penalty. But you can't leave it as a player.
Eric Dyer, famed for scoring a winning penalty for England against Colombia in the World Cup, will now try and upset the English side. Eric Dyer from 12 yards. Monaco find a way. Eric Dyer sends Donnarumma the wrong way. And right at the very end, maybe the French side will come out of this with a point.
But it's a terrific penalty. He's earned the penalty with the foul, so-called foul from Nico. But what cool customer, you know. There's been a lot of time since the penalty's been given with VAR, with Wham, with Donnarumma, the little punch-up. But he's kept his cool. He's just opened his body up. Donnarumma's gone the wrong way, and yeah, it may be a vital point for Monaco.
He scored for Tottenham against Manchester City 10 years ago. And a decade on, Eric Dyer might have salvaged an unlikely point. And Manchester City, who have had their opportunities to seal this game, will they come to regret it? It was their away form that let them down in the Champions League last season. Seven minutes were shown. I imagine we might end up playing a little bit more than that. Forceful from Nico. Bernardo Silva, that'd be some story if he could come up with the winner for Manchester City.
I think Foden just took it off his toe there. I think the ball was played for Silva, but all of a sudden you see City now, and there's a bit of urgency about them. They're trying to pass the ball quicker, and there's movement off the ball. It's like, you know, they've woken up in a sense. It was been easy. They've kept the ball. They're 2-1 up, and they didn't really go for the throat.
Bernardo Silva, the one-time Monaco player. Foden with him. Nico. Bernardo lets it bounce, and that just allows Ouattara to come in. And he's won the free kick as well.
Yeah, he's just held him off there. He's caught him in the face, and you can understand why that's been given as a foul.
Premier League action to come on Saturday, 11 o'clock. We're at Ellen Road, Leeds against Tottenham. Tottenham, who want to get back to winning ways after dropping points in the Champions League last night. And then Gallagher Prem action, Bath against Sale, both won on match round 1. Round 2 starts Friday night, 7 o'clock, TNT Sports 1. Don't write Monaco off from all 3 points on this. It needs Mateus to slide in. They've got a corner. We go quickly. And the dart to the byline, they can't keep it in play. And it's Manchester City now who thought about hurrying things along. Guardiola's distributed the yellow card to Savinho there. City now moving with a lot more urgency than they have done for the previous 90 minutes of this game. Eric Dyer will get there to that, ahead of Mateus. No time for the Monaco defence to settle. Reinders. They need this a lot closer to the 18-yard box, Manchester City. They probably need it a lot closer to Erling Haaland. Foden is allowed to turn. Was he challenged from behind? Yes, he was.
Good play from Foden. on the half turn, always looking for that little position to get on the half turn. He turns and he bursts in behind the defender, just gets that nudge there in a great position here. Dangerous position now. Man City take advantage of it. It's a little bit further out than you would like.
What's the plan? Haaland wants to know. Diaz with the instructions. Reinders and Foden might have ideas of their own. The time for organisation is over, the time for talking stops. Reinders sees Bernardo free. Bernardo into Nico. And Akliouche away for the home side. Biref with the hold-up play. Savinho gets a sprint on. But it's Eleni Kennett there first. Certainly both sides feel it's there for the taking. Teze was fouled. Guardiola, he's the voice you can hear bellowing from the sidelines. Oh, his Manchester City side gonna drop points when they look so comfortable for so long. Ouattara holding it up. Bernardo Silva trying to get it back off him. Orthodox control from Nico, but it works. City are able to get it away. Dyer's header forward. Biref will try and be under it. Reinders towards Haaland. That is a lovely touch from Erling Haaland. And City are flooding forward with 4 on the attack here. Bernardo Silva might not have the pace. Has to box clever. Nico. Final actions of this second half. Vardiol. Nico O'Reilly. It's not quite sitting up. Vardiol will try and force it through. Magical footwork from the defender. Here's Nico again. Puts it on through. The flag will stay down for now on Vardiol. Manchester City pay the penalty in Monaco. Despite the brilliance of Erling Haaland, right at the very end, Monaco, who'd held on for quite a long time, after a lengthy VAR check, were awarded a penalty, and Eric Dyer scored it. City